Kind of crazy right now. Oh, we're live. Okay, I look a little crazy right now, but I was having a discussion with the lovely London, who will not be on screen, but we were actually talking about. She was telling me about this body challenge or
No,
dancing
it's not.
challenge.
It's not the challenge. It's the comments that people are leaving.
Comments people are leaving under people dancing, and not dancing in a vulgar or sexual way, but just basically performing little dance routines.
Yeah,
And some of the comments that people leave that they think
funny.
are bigging people up or giving them encouragement could potentially be
But they're not even saying it to encourage them or bigging them up. They're saying it in a way to be hurtful.
like sneak dissing.
Yeah.
I hate that.
And there was this one girl who was healthy weight. She was very average. She was like from the side. She was very skinny from the front. She was skinny,
Hmm.
not in an unhealthy way. Just she was. You could tell she was healthy. She goes to the gym. She eats right. She's healthy.
Right.
And the comments were like, "Oh, we love a plus size queen," and it's a new trend to comment that under people's TikToks. And somebody said, "Well, she's not even plus size, so why are you saying that?" And they were like, "She's definitely above the average body weight." And there is no average body weight because the body weight changes based on your height, and some people are built different body types and everything.
Hmm.
There's not one right way to look, even when society tries to push it that way and be like, well, you can only look this way.
Right.
Jacqueline, why are you crying?
Someone's tablet died. Sorry.
But then it there's two very opposite beauty standards right now, and I feel like people aren't recognizing that there is the beauty standard of the basic body, which is a girl who's skinny, like flat stomach, it's toned, who has a butt,
Hmm.
and she has a thigh gap, and it's very unrealistic. And she has full hips, but she's not like she's thin arms and like a normal
Slim
size.
thick.
Yeah, no, but not that. It's like a just normal looking person, but it's kind of unrealistic that not everyone's gonna look like that. These girls typically don't have hip dips, which are very common,
Hmm.
and they're just kind of unrealistic. And then the other body type is complete opposite, which is basically a huge butt, a tiny waist, and big boobs, and you're skinny, and you have a flat stomach. So it's two very different
Well, and I
body
also
types.
want to hit on the fact that let's be clear, these are body types. So there are certain people who are shaped different ways, but the fact that people have started to manipulate their own body shape to try and fit into a certain body shape and make it seem like other body types are not what is desired. You know what I'm saying?
Mhm.
And that part, because I think I hate the fact that like everybody started going out getting these BBLs and oh, to have a big butt and this, that, and the third. And then it's kind of like you're trying on a costume, but there are people out there who were born with that
And
shape.
now it's making it harder for people who naturally have that shape. That people are like, oh, nice BBL, or it's clearly fake. And
Oh, child,
because
that's a
clearly
discussion for
every
another day.
body type that goes trending in one way or another, there are people that are built like that naturally.
Hmm.
But it's the toxic standard. If yes, saying that's beautiful, but everyone is beautiful in their own way.
Right,
There's
right.
no one way to look,
The pigeonholing, that's the
and
issue.
being like, well, if you don't look like this way, then you're not attractive.
Hmm.
And now with kids who are younger getting on social media, especially younger girls in a sense, younger girls who get on social media and are told that they need to look like this and they have to have this certain body type and they need to have this certain hair texture and it needs to be this length and they need to have
Hey,
this
Bubba.
color eyes or they're not beautiful. And I feel like people don't like to admit that that is a standard, and they don't like to admit that that is a struggle, and they're like, no,
Right.
body positivity, because you guys will upbring a girl who's plus size and then talk trash on a girl who's super skinny, even if she can't help it.
Right.
And there's this double standard, and then they'll do the exact opposite. And if somebody who's skinny says, I struggle with body dysmorphia, or I feel ugly in the way I look, people will be like, you don't get to feel like that because your society's beauty standard. You can't tell someone just because you think that they're beautiful.
Yeah, that they don't
should
struggle with
feel
something.
that way. Like they should be like, just because I what society likes, then I'm better than everyone else. Because if they acted like that, then you'd be like, no, you're not. You're not. See, you could be skinnier. You could be thicker. And
Wouldn't it
that's
be a
why
beautiful thing if we were able to just really big up and push being healthy, whatever that means, in the skin you're in? I think that would be a beautiful thing to be able to push being healthy in the skin you're in. And the understanding that that might look different depending on genetics
Mhm.
or different factors. But even if, I don't know, it's a lot. It's a lot to unpack. But I just thought it was really interesting. I always like to get my daughter's take because they are teenagers, so they're the younger generation, and just to see what they see from their eyes, especially with all the technology and all the social media just imposing different views and different images and different messages on you almost 24/7. What is it that you're taking away from it? What is it that you're getting out of it? But yeah, that's basically all. Me and London sometimes have these discussions, and I was like, why not go live for our little discussion? Because she's quite insightful. She doesn't want to share the rest of the stuff she was talking about, but she
I feel
has.
like I'm just not at the point with my views. Because yes, I know how I view certain things and how I am. But I know, I also know another trait about me that I'm very gullible, and
Mhm.
I'm comfortable with how I view things right now, that I don't want other people's, because I know that,
Input.
yeah, like, I can be pushed over very easily because I will give in, because I don't like super a lot of conflict, and I don't
Mhm.
like when people are like, well, we don't like you because you don't like this one thing. So I shared things that I've experienced, like eating disorders and all that,
Mhm.
because I've gone through it, so I know. So that's when people, stuff like that, when people try to tell me, oh, this is how I feel about it. Well, good, that's great, but this is what I went through,
Mhm.
and
It's like I respect your journey, but this was mine.
yeah,
You know.
and I feel like a lot of people don't understand, but I have a friend who, there's a difference between having an issue because you have it and having an issue because it's trending. And you can tell the difference with people who actually struggle with things. They don't say it every day. They don't want people to know.
Mhm.
Like, you don't walk around saying, I have an English, I mean, every 2 seconds, because clearly you're saying it for the attention
Right. I was gonna say you have a different
type of thing.
issue. Mhm.
But there's one of my friends who loves to say, oh, I have an eat all the time, and she loves to talk about all this stuff. And I told her, hey, don't talk to me about that right now, because
If
I
you
just
couldn't.
got clean and it's triggering, and I don't want to go back to that state of mind. And I think I just need a little bit more time before they're constantly me telling that every single day. And I feel like we told her that, and she's like, yeah, but I'm struggling with it too. And I'm like, and I get that. And if you are struggling with it, then you know how hard it is to stop. And like, I would never tell any of my friends all the time, you know, I don't do that, because I know if they are struggling with it, that I wouldn't want to make them feel like pushing it back into their head, because it's gonna make them go back into that state of mind.
Respecting where they are right
Yeah.
now. And that's a boundary setting thing, you know. And it could be that she could have an eating disorder and that's the way that her personality type or whatever, and there's a lot of things that go into that, so I won't speak on whether or not she has it. It does sound like she has some attention seeking behavior stuff going on, but just distancing yourself, or maybe just letting that person know, hey, at this point in time, you know, I'm gonna fall back, we gotta chill a little bit, because you know, I just need my space, and allow them to do their thing. because you want to protect your mental health as well, you know, your mental and emotional health.
Kayla's been getting a lot better with that because the other day she was eating food and I don't know what happened, but she couldn't hold it down or something, and she I guess coughed it back up, but I didn't hear her because it's not like she threw up, like I didn't hear the gag sound or anything.
Mhm.
And I was doing makeup, and she's like, "Don't turn around," and I was like, "Why?" Because I was obviously you told me not to do something, I ain't gonna want to do it now.
Bug.
So I turned around and I saw it, and I was eating, and I was like, "Oh," and I could feel it because when I hear or talk about it, I just ate. I don't know what it is, but it'll come up and I can feel it.
You might get that from me.
So it was like I'm glad that she realized to tell me not to turn around because then I was actually having to sit there and I was like, and when stuff like that happens, I think about it constantly, and I was just thinking about it today when I was eating, and I was like, let me not think about that. Let me watch.
It's crazy because I'm the mom of 3, and 2 of them are teenagers. One of them, you see him rolling around, and I can do, you know, poopy diapers and the potty training, but when it comes to the throw up, I've always struggled with that. Like the sound, the smell. Oh my gosh! Like I'm literally trying to clean it up and trying not to participate. So,
and I feel like it wasn't that bad before I went through everything and all that, but it afterwards it's mostly just with food. Like Kayla's thrown it before, and I cleaned it up, and I was fine.
Mhm.
But it's mostly the sound, and it's as long as I don't feel it, like when you're picking it up with like a paper towel, as long as I don't feel it, I'll be fine. The second I feel it, I can't do it anymore. It's about the texture thing. Textures, like when I'm eating food and it's chewy, I can't do it. Like,
oh, you mean like rubbery? I hate rubbery food.
like when the chicken has that fat part on it, and I put it in my mouth, and I'm like,
That's part of the reason why I can't eat sushi. I don't know how y'all feel about sushi.
For a long time, like when I'm chewing for like a long time, I'm like, if I keep chewing this, it's gonna come up.
Yeah, I'm a texture person too. Cause like my oldest daughter, she loves like real, what I call real sushi. I'll do California rolls with certain things in them. It has to have like the imitation crab or whatever in it. But when it comes to like the real raw pieces of fish and stuff,
I didn't do sushi. Period. I had sushi once at a friend's house, and I held it down, and it was fine until
I thought you liked California rolls.
No, it's it doesn't sit well with my stomach. No matter if it's fake, real. I don't know what it is about sushi.
But you like avocado.
Yeah, I love avocado. It was an avocado.
But you don't like rice.
Yeah, I don't like rice and pasta and stuff like that. It's something about I don't like carbs.
Jackson doesn't like rice and pasta either. I mean, he likes butter noodles.
I don't like carbs. I like ramen. That's it.
Mm-hmm.
Because I feel like it's one of those things where I was super proud of myself about carbs, and now I just like I feel like if I eat them, I'm gonna beat myself up about it. So
I'm trying to think when you were younger, were you like a? Because there's certain things, you know, for the time you go, huh? You like, yeah, you like mac and cheese.
That's it.
But
I don't like noodles. I don't like pasta.
Yeah,
I don't like anything with white sauce. I don't know what it is about Alfredo sauce. But
you know, the other thing I was thinking about yesterday, Thanksgiving. Our Thanksgiving has changed dramatically from the time you guys were little. Because it used to be going to all, like, we have to go to both sets of grandparents' houses. And it was like a really tiring day by the time we got to Gam's house. But then you guys would like get your little plates and run off and be playing. Yep. Y'all would go pass out somewhere and we'd have to drag you out of Gam's house. And yeah, my mom she does an epic Thanksgiving every year. It started with my grandmother and her best friend my grandmother's best friend just recently passed. My grandmother passed a while ago, but they used to always get together and do a joint Thanksgiving. I don't know if you knew this, but that's where the huge Thanksgiving dinner came from, because they would combine both of them cooking, both families. So all of their kids, and both of them had like multiple children who then had children. So they had all their children, their grandchildren, and they would all come over to my grandmother's house, and there would be food upstairs and downstairs. They had like a whole dessert area. And so it was just like Thanksgiving at my grandma's house was epic. And we used to go to both sets of grandparents' houses too, because we would go to my father's mother's house first and do Thanksgiving there. And they have a pretty big family. They have 5 kids, so that's just life here, Bubba. But then we would go to my mother's house, where it would just be a ridiculous amount of people, a ridiculous amount of food. That's where the chitlins would go down. You guys have never eaten chitlins. Gams doesn't make them because Papa hates the smell. Like he will leave the house. If she Do you know what they are? Pig intestines. She just made a face. Yeah. You clean the poop out and what does Pastor Mike say? Humble, open, and transparent. I have eaten chitlins when I was younger, when I didn't know what they were, but I really liked them. And my grandma was really good at cleaning them, but I cannot believe. But to be honest, we always make a big deal about the fact that, oh, they're cleaning the poop out of the chitlins, but we do the same thing with shrimp. People actually give people shrimp all the time with poop in them, so I'm not even going to go there. But it's just that it's a pig. It's like, I don't know, But
Not a big meat fan.
So what, child? What you eating? Water and hopes and dreams?
I've only been eating crackers recently.
Somebody help this child. Tell her you cannot live off of Takis and crackers.
No, I can actually eat
crab legs.
That and the sandwiches that I got. The sandwich I got yesterday.
A sub from Wawa.
That was good.
This sounds like a college kid diet.
It's because it isn't cooked. It's the smell of things that get cooked. I don't know.
The processed meat is cooked, London.
I know, but it's not warm and hot and fresh out of the oven. It's not very meaty and there's no fat.
Well, we'll be praying for London so that she can get some protein in her diet.
I ate meat yesterday.
What meat did you eat?
Turkey.
Oh, you ate turkey?
No, on my sandwich.
Oh, I was going to say, how did it go?
No. I ate sandwich.
Yeah, Gams is always super hard on herself about Thanksgiving dinner too. I'm like, sometimes I'm like that though. I'm like, it's not good. And everybody else will be like, it's okay. Or, yeah, it's good.
I won't lie to you.
Yes, we know. You guys won't lie. You guys won't lie. But yeah.
It doesn't help anyone. It doesn't help the people eating it, and it doesn't help you learn. It'd be worse.
But also, I don't really feel like I lie, but sometimes I'm like, when I say I don't think it's that bad, I'm being honest. I don't think it's that bad. Like, I'm not spitting it out and being like, ew. Oh yeah, yo, my mom makes this bomb biggity carrot cake, and it's like the best carrot cake you will ever taste in your life. Like, I might ask her if we could post the recipe, because when I tell you, like, it don't get no better. She decided this year she was going to try some carrot cake off the internet. Child, I don't know.
It tastes like straight carrot.
Who dried mama? Somebody out here eating dry carrot cake, and we'll be praying for you, because that. My mom was like, I tried a different recipe this time. Girl, we been to that carrot cake. That's just how he is. Do you want to say hi to the people? They don't want to say hi to you. But yeah, we've been to the carrot cake. It was super dry, and it was just like, child,
Why
child.
was he so socially awkward yesterday?
Huh?
Jackson.
What?
At first, at Gam's house, he was just sitting in the living room.
Then he started playing with Ari.
He was saying that y'all were being mean to him.
Nobody was being mean to him. Jackson had a moment because Pop, he went in Gams in Pop's room. Yeah, that face. And Pop called him. And Jackson ran. And so I said, Jackson, come on, because Pop was like, Jackson, come here. What did you touch? I'm trying to make sure you didn't touch anything that would hurt you or get into like any of Gam's little essential oils or anything like that. And Jackson was like crying and scared and stuff. And Pop was like, I'm not gonna yell at you. I just want to know what you.
Yeah, he doesn't do that anymore. Well,
Oh
back
my
in my day,
gosh.
he tried to beat me for not putting on a pair of jeans.
You were never scared of Pop.
Yes, I still am.
Oh my gosh.
Why do you think I don't go there?
Can I tell you about this racism
No, he's
in
so
my children?
scary.
You're scared of my dad because he is a black man.
Like, I'm not scared of Gam. I'm not scared of anybody.
And literally, their other grandfather will cuss you out from the moment you enter the room. Tell you he about to hit you and da 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 da. Even though he might not do it. But girl, he be cussing and yelling and screaming from the time you enter the room.
And then literally he looks at me and he goes, hello, like.
Oh, and then he looks at you and goes, hello. Now that guy is safe.
No, because he's a lot of bark, no bite. Pop. He loves to argue, so that's why I don't go over them anymore.
You like to argue? No, I'm fine. He likes to debate. Well, let me tell you, my dad and his siblings, my grandfather and grandmother, their mom was a teacher. Their father was like a general in the army. So they love to debate, but when they debate very forcefully. And I was like, that makes sense. Oh, I guess it does. I was like, yeah, because your mom would have taught you guys to debate your points with clarity, and your father would have taught you to debate your points. And when you make a point, stand on it in strength from that army view of, like, this is what it is.
And I'm telling you, they don't want to listen to nobody. They just repeat it. Oh, and you do that too. So if you think you know what is right,
I know. I'm working on. I've gotten better.
I'm going to tell you something, and you're like, no. See, this is.
I've gotten better.
And I'll be like, Mom, help me with my
Say
math.
the truth.
You do it everywhere, even when I'm trying to tell you, hey, can you do my math homework? You're like an actual teacher. Okay, so I'm like, I don't understand this. You read the question over again and say, now figure it out.
No, I
you
don't.
Literally, and this is, you're like, so look, the question is, da-da-da-da. Obviously, I read that, so that didn't make any sense. Then you'll be like, see, and all you have to do is, and then you try to explain it in a way that I don't understand. And when I try to tell you to
yeah.
And
the way
like,
I explain it, you don't get it.
And then you're like, well, look it up. And I'm like, well, I don't even know what to look up because I don't understand. But then Kill explains it, and I get it right away.
Well, then Kill is the one that should help with math. That doesn't mean, but I've gotten better. Tell the truth, Lindy. I've gotten better.
Yeah, you don't throw things at people anymore.
I'm not ashamed of where God has brought me from. Listen, it gets real. But anyways, we've been on here long enough, and like I don't think anybody's gonna watch this, so we're good. But it was just, huh? What? Well, you guys have a good day, and hopefully we'll come up with a better format of how to do these discussions so that we can actually
talking about how aggressive you are.
We can do these discussions and have that's just the odds. But everyone have a great day. We'll holla. Huh?